Dr. Fatma Dar is a senior educationist and CEO and managing partner of Oak Consulting. Over a career of 30 years, she has balanced out theory-practice divide.
Hello, namaste. Ji, thank you. Should I continue or you want to? Okay. Assalamu alaikum, everybody. First of all, thank you very much for inviting me here to talk to a big group of educationists sitting here. And thank you to Nadia for energizing you, because what we are going to discuss now will take you on to a critical discussion on the importance of human agency as well as the machine agency. What we are going to do in this session is that I am going to start with a little debate. जी इसको can I start? कहाँ है presentation? Okay. I'm going to start with a little debate. I'm going to put before you a few questions, because as an educator, I think that the role of an educator should run supreme. And all the machine learning and all the processes involved in machine learning should come in a supportive role to the role of the teacher. So I'm going to build my argument around this philosophy, and then Dr. Mohsin Raza will take over, and take you into the journey of more and more technology. So I sort of shy away from delving deep into technology, and that is Dr. Raza's domain. I am a teacher educator, a teacher by heart. So I am going to talk about teachers' agency and how teachers can have a transformative role, and come in a supportive role to use technology. Now, let me start by asking a few questions. My first question is, does excessive reliance on artificial intelligence compromise human skills, critical thinking, and autonomy? How many of us agree with this? How many of us disagree with this? So, let's make it a bit interactive. What do you think? Does excessive reliance on AI, sorry, अब ये AI जो है ये मेरे साथ गड़बड़ करेगा, but I will just try to manage. G, coming back here. Does excessive reliance on AI compromise human skills, critical thinking, and autonomy? Teachers' autonomy. Yes? No?
Check.
All right. Let me go on to my next question. No, the question has disappeared. Will it come again or should I continue? आ गया? अच्छा, ठीक है. इसीलिए मुझे टीचर पर ज़्यादा एतबार है. Okay. Does AI dependence create agency decay? Are teachers going towards, a downward journey because of excessive reliance on artificial intelligence? Again, a debatable question. This is something that we need to think. There is this tendency to hop on to to AI to seek suggestions, to seek solutions. So, is it by any chance taking us on a downward journey or no? Maybe we can come around and we can say that no, it is not. Maybe AI is assisting us to help us in teaching. So, you think that AI dependence is creating an agency decay? Teachers are not using this part of the body more now? Yes, no? Okay. Does over-reliance on AI diminish cognitive autonomy and lead to skill deterioration? There is a skill deficit in us now. So much dependence on AI that there is a skill deficit. The biggest skill deficit is communication itself. The biggest skill deficit is we are not good in non-verbal communication anymore. Our children, especially, do not communicate. What happened in school today? Nothing much. That's a response. There is not a series of sentence making that they are doing. So there is a straightaway communication decay. And there are so many other factors. I will not go deep into it, but this is just food for thought. Are humans losing emotional intelligence and ethical practices due to tech dependence? Higher education is suffering from intense plagiarism. Students are using AI to generate assignments. Sometimes, previously, you must have also read in Dawn, उनके business page के ऊपर एक खबर लगी हुई थी जो AI generated थी, और उसमें AI का जो था वो एक prompt भी था कि अगर आपको और भी कुछ चाहिए तो बताएं, और as it is वो अखबार में छपी हुई थी. So at least थोड़ी सी तो human intelligence यहाँ बनती थी इस्तेमाल करना, कि पता ना चल सके कि ये मवाद आया कहाँ से है. So using technology intelligently, that is something which I think as an educator I question a lot. Now यहाँ तो फिर मैं आ गई अच्छा. So what should we do? What is the solution? I want to take a ride on human agency first. I just want to, make this comparison, and then later on, again try to see whether the two can befriend themselves. Now, what is the advantage of staying human in education? The biggest advantage is that God has bestowed us with certain intuitive skills. I am just reading a very interesting book these days. It is called The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari by Robin Sharma. Wonderful book. So it gives you life lessons. And one of the lessons that he tells, he becomes a monk as a successful lawyer. He just finishes up with that and becomes, a monk. And he says that, I realized that we use just a fraction of our brain in our lives. God has bestowed us with tremendous qualities in this part of the body called the human brain, and we are just using a fraction of that mind in one life. So the whole concept of human agency. So, and is it a good idea to now give way to that human agency and become a sort of victim to artificial intelligence, or no? That is done through critical thinking, which God has bestowed us with this critical ability to think, to reflect, to intuit, and to make responsible decisions. That is human quality. The other thing is that making ethical decisions as per the context is done by us as humans. Making decisions as per the context. What does the context demand? So what would I do if this fails? So I am standing on the stage before you, technology fails, so what would I do? Stop or continue? But if I want to continue, then certain abilities, certain skills, come in action. And then ethical practices, they can be defined well by the human mind. And again, this whole concept of human irrationality, sometimes it is good to be irrational. It is a quality to be emotional. It is again a quality to make adaptive decisions, again as per the context, as per the demand of the hour. So maybe AI runs short of this biggest trait of irrationality that we have as humans. Sometimes we say that, oh, we are making irrational decisions. But now that we are competing with, technology, this irrationality has also come up as a good trait. That maybe, technology needs to learn from that irrationality, from these sometimes abrupt decisions that we make as per the demand of the context. So this is all human. Now, compared to this, what if we depend a lot on AI, on technology? What happens? Over-reliance of technology, again, can lead to skill decay. The ability to write, the ability to communicate is diminishing in the teachers as well as in students. So how can we keep it alive? The only way we can keep it alive is to befriend technology in a reasonable manner so that at least we stay human. The ability to rationalize, the ability to communicate, the ability to feel, the whole aspect of social emotional learning, the whole aspect of empathy, care, that is a human agency. The other thing that is, important is to make ethical choices. I was once writing a research paper, and I just, consulted an AI, chatbot. And what I did was that I just wanted me to give me a good research on a particular idea. So when the reference came, and I checked that reference, the reference was wrong. And that made me realize that even they are prone to errors. So we need to make ethical decisions. This whole concept of rechecking. And since we are teachers, it is all the more important that we check and recheck, because what we say is somewhat harfe aakhir for our students. So we are in a very responsible role. So the whole concept of ethics, the whole concept of logic, that may not be applicable in unique situations. The biggest idea in 21st century, and which is supported by many scholars, Michael Fullan being one of them, is the whole concept of contextual literacy. You weave around the entire fabric of education around contextual literacy. Who is your learner? What are the demographics of your learner? The demographics of this place may differ if you go 5-6 kilometers here and 5-6 kilometers there. So how are we reshaping education in the classroom by virtue of knowing who the learner is? That can be done by the teacher. That can be done quite easily by the human agency. And then AI, may not make holistic judgments because of inadequate sensory processing. By sensory processing, what do I mean? You see, we have certain senses. हम देख रहे हैं, हम सुन रहे हैं, feel भी कर रहे हैं. ये different senses का combination sometimes helps in making decisions. So maybe research says that AI needs to maybe come up and brush up its skill in doing this. Now, having said that, this is a debate we need to conclude somewhere. So we are only able to conclude once this moves. So will this move? Oh yeah. So we are on to solutions. No, there needs to be a coexistence. Now, we cannot deny that technology is with us. We cannot deny that we are using it. It is helping us. So one needs to now co-function with technology. We need to coexist with technology, because technology can offer and is offering many opportunities that we need to capitalize on, because it is building the efficiency of systems. So system efficiency can be built with the use of technology. So what we need to do is that we need to be cognizant of how much of human agency and how much of machine learning. And again, both of these, they need to exist together. Ji, can we move forward, please? I am cognizant of the time factor also. Now, so if AI is handling your speed, AI is handling your scale, your memory, your pattern finding, here comes the humans. And the humans can help in providing judgments, in making it more creative, in taking the ethical stance on things. That's where the unison comes. That's where the bridge comes. So AI, of course, remains a tool, and then the emotional intelligence, the moral reasoning, and complex social navigation will be done by humans and should be done by humans. That is something that we need to focus on. Critical decisions must rest with us as humans, and AI can just propose, modify, but the critical decisions in life as well as in education as well as in the classroom should rest with the teacher. How would AI answer to the whole question of differentiated learning in the classroom? All students are not alike. So what are we doing? So teachers know their students best. So how can AI help in assisting teachers to address the problem of differentiation in the classroom? That's where the support comes. Then again, AI can handle mundane computational work, but the creativity part, the novelty comes when the humans bring in and they bring in the social agency, the relationship part, the rapport building with the students. That needs to factor in within whatever we do. The other thing that is important is, for example, let's take a few examples of this AI human intelligence integration. We can have intelligent tutoring system. There are many software available now. I can think of Duolingo, for example, that teaches languages. Of course, that can be used as a tool, but again, it can combine with teaching in the classroom. So how will a teacher use a tool of learning a new language, use it in the classroom to augment the teaching learning process, not use it as the tool to learn a new language, because context is important. AI does not know your context. AI does not know the particular context, the ground reality of a child. And that's where you come in as the teacher. Similarly, we can have virtual field trips where you can show them Mohenjo-daro as a virtual, through the AI, but then again you come in as a teacher and you augment the whole process by making them do critical discussions. That's where you come in as a critical partner in in forwarding the cause of education in the classroom. Similarly, this is a very interesting Harvard study which I would just want to share with you. Now, they just concluded that 40% of a teacher's work normally, globally, it just boils down to very mundane, very routine work like, attendance and paper marking and formulating results and, all those kinds of things. Lesson planning, grading, maintaining student records and all that. Most of it can be taken up by AI, for example, and teachers can use the same time in doing hardcore education. That's where, the partnership, lies. So AI then can also can be used as a tool to do relationship building. Through certain softwares, we can know our learners better. The whole concept of social emotional learning, the whole concept of social emotional learning as a power skill. Nowadays we call it a power skill. It is called a power skill because that differentiates us and will always give us an edge over technology. So this is again something that is important. Now I will conclude and I will request Dr. Mohsin to take over. You should have thought that I began by maybe talking against the agency of AI. My point was not that. My point was to actually build and restate the importance of teachers in the classroom. And my point is that why cannot we still realize that teachers are important in the classroom. Number one, we need to reskill ourselves. That's very important. Upskilling is absolutely important, in today's classrooms, without which I think that we'll fail our students. So your own professional development in technology use, technology learning is very important. I am also learning. I call myself a digital immigrant. I got in touch with the computer when I was 23 years of age on my first job. So I call myself a digital immigrant. The children we teach are digital natives. They are born with technology. देयर इज अ डिफरेंस. कैसे पढ़ाएंगे, हम तो अभी भी सीख रहे हैं. So this co-creation of thought with technology is something that will make us remain not only human, but I would say that in today's world, superhuman. And that is what is required in today's classrooms. Let's not diminish the importance of a teacher. So keep building your content knowledge, your pedagogical knowledge, your tech-based knowledge, your non-verbal communication, the power skill of social emotional learning. That will give us again an edge over machine. So let's use it as a good technical partner in the classroom, and let's continue building the learning outcomes of our students our country really needs. The World Bank 2024 report says that Pakistan suffers from 78% learning poverty in this country. So when we say that, it means a lot. So there is a lot we need to do. So if we do it together, I think it will definitely make a difference. So thank you very much.